YouTube audience as well. You guys are watching NODWIN Valorant Challenges South Asia, driven by Hyundai, and our styling partner is Philips OneBlade. Today we have God's Reign facing off against MLT Esports. MLT Esports, obviously a team that did not get to showcase their full strength in Split 1, but I think they have come back much stronger now based on their previous performance. God's Reign, on the other hand, they want to have a win finally in their bags, because they've had a few shaky starts themselves. I mean, they had a win and then another loss, which kind of makes the whole thing split even for them. Now they want to top it off with a third win.
That win is actually very important, because if they get this one, they might be on top of their group. But here we have Vivo and Tricky, two different roles, but one of them was greatest player in Tricky. Look at him. Vivo thought that he's just gonna give him a fist bump, but Tricky is just waving to his fans and also smiling. And finally, this is his first game in the Split 2, ladies and gentlemen. Tricky is just going to play for the first time in the Split 2. Let's see how he's going to perform. Sai is here, smiling, and Fox is also back in the score.
Yeah, it's good to see Fox back, but I honestly miss Easy and Godbexy quite a lot. I wonder if they will be playing today. Honestly, it's still okay as long as Kakarot and GE are in the server, and those guys can handle quite a lot of the heat by themselves. So, yeah, hopefully we get to see Easy or Godbexy in one of the other maps. Those guys are really good when it comes to the late game situations. When you leave them in a clutch situation, or if any mid-round adjustments are to be made, those guys are one of the first ones to pick up point in this team.
Oh, would love to see them, perform again and also crash their opponents. But I'm also excited about the veto too. Hacker is there on the stage with his team, one of the most, chill coach, and also he had played with this team and also won a match against ASTER, but it was a split 2. I don't want that happen again, because again, players are really important. That time the situation was different, and here the situation is actually different. We can see the teams are hurdle up. But what do you think about the maps, Crips? Because I think that today we might witness bind.
Honestly, I don't really have an opinion on that one. I kind of feel like if Tricky pops off, it will be amazing. But then on the other hand, I kind of feel like they rely a bit too much on Tricky, so they need multiple sources of rounds. That's what I feel. They need to have multiple win conditions.
Yeah. So in those situations, I think so the OG maps would be better option, or maybe the maps you are comfortable at. But hey, we have the veto in front of us, and God's Reign will get the first ban, also the first pick. And let's see, they might ban Fracture. No, they are banning Bind right off the bat.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't mind them banning Bind. It was one of those puggish maps, and you can't afford to take risks. If I was MLT Esports, I would actually take on God's Reign on one of those tactical maps where I have a chance of beating them down fair and square. When it comes to just firepower duels, you can't rely on that too much. God's Reign picking up Haven is not really a surprise, and Metal will obviously pick up Pearl. They want to target God's Reign, especially since God's Reign lost last time. I think Metal want to replicate a similar performance to ASTER Army and bring them down to their knees once again.
They lost on both these maps, right? Haven and the Decider and Pearl when it was their pick. So interesting choice of maps though, and we are gonna witness the Decider map Lotus, in which we are gonna crown the victory. We are gonna crown the team who will secure a victory in this series, and God's Reign pick the attacker side. Let's see if we are gonna witness Lotus or not, or maybe Metal just try to finish all this series with a 2-0. Similar thing for God's Reign.
Well, we are starting off with Haven, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the show on the road. So far, we haven't really seen too many new adjustments on the map of Haven. Maybe every now and then you'll replace the controller. Sometimes people pick up Astra or the Urban, but other than that, the core of Breach, Sova, Killjoy, and Jet doesn't really change for most teams.
True. I think so. It's still the same. Again, a mirror matchup. And we can see Tricky on the Jet and Rules on that KJ. So he's replacing SG today, apologies. That role. Let's see how much comfortable he is on that Sentinel role. And look at that. Hacker is smiling. Godspeed again, just keeping that fake smile on his face. Both of them are ready, so as well as their team. Let's see which team will win the first map.
Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get Haven on the road. Metal Esports starting off on defense. Meanwhile, God's Reign starting on attack. Both these teams have quite a lot to prove. Last time Metal Esports played Haven, they actually had quite a hard time, and it was quite some time ago, all the way in Split 1. Meanwhile, God's Reign, their wounds are fresh. They recently lost Haven against ASTER Army 13-8. But they did win against Godlike 13-6, so it's not like they're completely hopeless over here. We'll see how this goes out. It's an early aggression towards the A side right off the bat, and the shock dart deals a little bit of damage chipped onto Tix and Vibor. But they will continue with this push regardless. JE gets stunned. A fault line in his face leaves him vulnerable, but he joins his teammate on the other side of this box. The smoke gives them a little bit more breathing room, which they are using to put up some sort of resistance. Unfortunately, it will not matter, as it will be a 2v3. Yes, Tix is... I'm sorry, not a 2v3, it's a 2v4 rather.
Yep.
Last player standing.
Tix just has only 1% HP, so yeah, you can count that one chink of her damage, or maybe one bullet onto his leg might shut him down. Fox is alone and got killed by Hoax there. It was a good start for God's Reign because they were just playing very aggressive, in which they knew about the J and Rule's position, despite the fact J secured 1 kill, but he wasn't good enough for 2. I am shocked at how Rules missed those shots, because both of them, the players were in front of him, both of them had very less HP. They could have killed both of them, but unfortunately that was the case now, and God's Reign, now they have a better buy, so more chances to secure the second round of this map.
Exactly, they have another chance. And Metal Esports, unfortunately, are not the kind of team that will always go for the force buys unless they're feeling really, really desperate. So, good chance for God's Reign to start crunching those numbers up, start racking them up. Early smoke towards A lobby, which will stop God's Reign from pushing inside, but that smoke kind of indicates that Metal Esports are going to be stacking A or either playing aggressively over there. That's why the drone has been used by Sai to clear out the closer angles. Soon they'll discover that it's a B stack and the gamble is done incorrectly, but I think it's still gonna be fine. God's Reign want to keep it clean. Metal Esports will descend upon them very, very quickly, and it will be a bit tough to stop this whole 5-man push. Plus, because Kakarot is just placing smokes there again and again, God's Reign are being very paranoid about someone being present. They're even using the shot darts to bake any potential killjoy utility, but TC Rules did not even buy any utility this round. So yeah, it's good to see God's Reign being cautious regardless of where Metal is.
But reading the situation pretty perfectly is also a really good thing for the Metal. Although every single one of them is still alive, I don't think so they're gonna feed their opposition, because we all know Autumn tends to farm their opposition in look at that. Played Storm a bit early, and look at that.
Yeah.
I think so Metal, they are having a conversation that what we are going to do in the third round.
Yeah, I mean, this round doesn't matter to them anyway, right? If they can get a kill or two, it should be fine. But most importantly, they don't want to give away any of these kills to God's Reign and die to the spike so that they don't get any saving penalty, nor do God's Reign get any free ult points. It's one of those rare rounds of Valorant where nobody takes a single tick of damage from weapons.
Yeah.
Everybody on the team gets to take all their HP back with themselves. Nobody sees each other. Nobody fires a bullet at each other. There's a few spams here and there, but at the end of the day, God's Reign win the round without even seeing a single enemy.
The beauty of God's Reign and the beauty of Metal too. And I like that, strat that we are just respecting our opponents. We're not going to give them a single ultimate point, or we are not going to go for a kill. Kakarot, that's a beautiful start, but okay, we're just trying to jump peek there.
No,
he spotted out 3 players.
I think he wanted to peek out with the weapon, but because of the way that paranoia works, it will switch you back to your previous weapon. And I guess his previous weapon just happened to be that knife. That's why he had a knife in his hand when he was going for the peek. You could tell that he didn't intend to jump peek of such. He wanted to actually fight, but it's fine. As long as he gets to walk out of there alive, only losing a little bit of armor, it's fine. But at least he spotted a lot of God's Reign members towards the C side, I thought on the back of it, Metal Esports would push A and try to crunch them, but that's not happening either. It's just tricky towards sewers. But what's going to prepare them for this B hit? I don't think anything will. It's not even a B hit. Autumn just dashes into the smoke that's placed on B while the rest of his teammates are coming in from garage. This is now a C split and everybody's blind. There's splash points, there's paranoias, and within a matter of seconds, God's Reign take 3 frags.
What a beautiful way to enter inside the seaside, gathering a lot of attention just because of that one tailwind through Autumn and just rushing towards the garage and then towards the side through the garage alley. That flashpoint was perfect from the side of Hoax and the peak from Vibor too, because he shut down the player who was just hiding inside that corner. And an easy side entry though. Nothing. We can see that Metal was just being really passive. And I think so, yeah, I agree with that point that Kakarot was trying to, just give some amount of damage in that early stage, that early start of the round, but just because of he had a knife in his hand, he won't be able to do that. And now, another round on board for God's Reign, and again, Team Metal Esports had a really shaky start. Again, that's not what I expected, and that's not what we expected actually. So Team God's Reign, it seems like they're just reading them very perfectly. And look at that, Hoax just 1 point far behind from his Rolling Thunder. So God's Reign just doing something amazing, and this is so perfect for them.
Yeah, if they can get the ultimate orb onto Hoax, it will be very good for them. I don't think they'll need to use that ultimate anytime soon, considering Metal Esports only have a bunch of eco weapons. So I think they will be good for yet another round. Try to take contact play towards grass. And a Swarm used to make sure DC Rules can't push out, but he does so regardless and instantly loses half his HP. Takes teleports onto top of B, and the Jet dashes in as well. Just like that, in a Blitzkrieg, the B side is under the control of God's Reign.
Sai was aware of that fact that someone might push from the A lobby side and shuts down Jay there. But at the end, Tricky got a trade, but he just left with only 30% of his HP. Fox is trying to enter inside the site. Takes still being careful near that long area, and Autumn picks one through the body, through the wall, although secures a second, and it was an easy round, another easy round for Team God's Reign Esports, because Team Metal had only 2 weapons, and every single one of them were using, other 3 players were using the Sheriffs, in which they knew about the position of DC Rules, so they enter inside the B side, and again, a good round. And we can see Hoax now, he has his Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Hoax has the Rolling Thunder. Sai is also very close to his ultimates, 3 points away. Meanwhile, the first ultimate that's going to be available on Metal Esports is going to be JE. He's going to have his Hunter's Fury soon enough. And if God's Reign don't challenge A long, it would be good. But look at this push. Tricky dies. That was a very risky push in the first place, but at least Fox is there to trade him out. I thought he would dash into a Cloudburst or something, but none of that came through. Hey, at least with this aggression, they've given away so much information, and now God's Reign can use that. They channel onto Seaside. They knew that because of Metal stacked towards Garage, Seaside would be rather defenseless. They would only have some Killjoy utility, which they can easily break and then get back.
An easy plan though. Sai receives some amount of damage, and Hoax is ready with his Rolling Thunder in case Metal just tried to, go for a retake here. Jay connected a lot of information that none of them are inside the site, so they are preferably playing towards the long area. And look at that, Hunter's Fury and Rolling Thunder, both of them got invested, in which Fox, his position has been revealed, and Hoax was trying to play aggressive, got punished with both from the garage alley, can change if he wants to. And yes, he well secures one, but Rules was very quick with his aim, and Rules with the third and a round for Metal.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Esports really playing together as a unit. They're using the smokes to make sure God's Reign have to come out into the open to actually fight them. But when they do, Metal Esports make sure they always get double, triple peaked. Gave God's Reign absolutely no chance to recover from that one. But still, I think it's okay for God's Reign. Winning so many rounds in a row gives you quite a lot of economic advantage. They've already have plenty of money. And conceding one round to Metal Esports is acceptable considering the situations. You managed to bait out the Hunter's Fury for them, so I think that's also very nice.
And also you secure some picks which just gonna punish Metal Esports, and they might suffer that economy crunch for a while. But side position has been revealed. Jay just being cautious, and those random bullets through the smoke just dish out some amount of damage on Jay. He needs to be careful. He has an owl drone available, he can utilize it, but he is playing very aggressively. No support and goes for a try. Pete got punished there. And it's okay. Was it a try Pete though? Because Fox, I think so. He had a flashpoint available.
I mean, whether he uses the flash or not, that's not the problem. The problem is the gun battles in this game are just too long, man. Everybody just sees it coming. Tix is able to figure out where his enemy is before they even peek him. And same happens with Kakarot. The paranoia goes for a toss, but at least Tix is able to get him.
No trades, individual fights, and Medal got punished.
Quite easily that too.
Yeah, and now it's on to DC rules. If he get killed, he will get his lockdown. If he gets the kill, he will certainly get his lockdown. But what will he do? You have only 150 credits, and look at the credits. Jay and Kakarot, 1600 and 600 difference.
Yeah, not every one of them can buy, and with 28 HP, there's no hope of DC rules retaking the site. God's Reign do them dirty. I mean, giving them one round is okay, but winning the next round immediately after giving them one, that's worse for Medal's economy. You might as well have won every single round up until now, because that would at least leave MLT Esports on the max loss bonus. Now you don't even let them save, they've got no money again, so this gives God's Reign not only a chance to win the 5th round, but they might as well go for the 6th here.
And now Medal's is going to suffer that economy thrash, but Crunch, although Tix now has his ultimate available. Autumn just 1 point far behind from his ultimate, and same for Side Dreams. And it was a flawless round, so no resistance from the side of Medal in the previous round. And now Medal took a timeout, and Hacker's just discussing some important stuff. Again, Fox is here, one of the most experienced guy in the team of Medal. Tricky is also back, but still no resistance. And I am just amazed the way God's Reign is playing.
God's Reign are also keeping it nice and simple, right? They're not trying anything super complicated. The only complex thing they've done so far, quote unquote, is that crunch towards the C side, where they did not take C long at all. They had Autumn go towards the B side, he dashes into C link while the rest of his teammates come in from garage, and then they take C side control. Other than that, they haven't really done anything super out of the box or something that will really blow your socks off. It's been standard A hits, standard C hits so far. No B plant yet, although they have used the B side a couple of times to just catch rotations or maybe send Autumn through. They haven't done anything else now. Once again, it's going to be one of those fast C-long hits. They've laid down the fault line already, which covers the first box. Another paranoia in the same place. I think that was a mistake. They probably should have sent it somewhere else. But they haven't checked the closed box. Now when they finally do, DC Rules gets completely run over by Tix. Autumn also is adding to the mix. And these guys are using the Vandals to completely bulldoze their way through.
Planted.
Oh my god, and now it all comes down to Kakarot and Jay, in which Kakarot is going from the C-long, and Jay is trying to collect one kill, and he actually got one. He will recover that Vandal. The Triad can't produce it. He can just move and secure some more picks, because if he gets one, or if he has any information in that, Kakarot can work on that. But hey, Hook spots him out instantly, picks him, and Kakarot is just waiting for some exit frag. Will he get loud for those or not? Or he might get picked a bit early than he thought. Paranoia, Shrouded Stub available, secures one, but Autumn is there for the save. And 6th round on gold for God's Reign. And now they have 4 ultimates in the backpack. God's Reign just playing very textbook play.
Yeah, and the textbook plays are working, so why do you even need to fix it? I really thought MLT Esports would have taken a tactical timeout by now. They've got 2 massive ultimates, so they should probably use it, but then God's Reign have 4 of them. Almost double the amount of that. And so far, God's Reign have shown some stark weaknesses, you know. Their executes are not end-all, be-all. They use the paranoia and the fault line in the same place rather than using anything to its backside. The only thing they put over there are the breaches flashes, which also can be turned away from, you know. So these seaside hits are just really so good for God's Reign. And it's not because they are doing it really well, it's partially because Metal seem very weak on that one. I mean, look at the setup right now. The Killjoy utility has been placed towards B side only. The C side is completely devoid of presence. And that's partially because there's a massive push coming through from the A lobby. Now that Sai's seen all of these people coming in, it forces them away. The lockdown clears out the C side, which already was clear. That's unfortunately something that God's Reign are not aware of, but they're gonna take no risk.
Especially when they lost Sai, and also Tix revealed his position. Rules Bex Webo in a very crucial spot. Now it's a 3v5, it's a doable round for Metal, and Jay just make things more easier for them. Kakarot with the third, and an easy round for God's Reign once again. They just used only one ultimate in this round. Got the C-side control, but that push from the side of Metal was perfect. Especially the triple man push from A-Long, because they invested a lot. And kudos to Kakarot, because he also invested that paranoia to take control of the A lobby and also set up Autumn towards, not Autumn, Tricky towards the A main. And good coordinated play from Middle, and this is what we are looking for. This is what we wanted, right? Some retaliation, some resistance plays needed to just pick God's Reign important rounds.
I'll find them.
Yeah, just get them the important rounds and it's gonna be quite okay for you. God's Reign finally tried to cook Seaside again and again, and they've been using this like their bread and butter a bit too often, which will make Metal Esports rotate either away from the Seaside or completely stack it up. They've chosen the former option first. They're choosing to reinforce A even more firmly. Decide to just reinforce whatever they know they can defend and then play C for retake. If God's Reign keep on giving them post-plant fights, even after they've secured the site and the plant as well, then Metal Esports can always capitalize on those overextensions and punish them. I hope this time we don't get to see something similar from God's Reign. It's a 5v5, which was supposed to be the previous round as well, but then again, God's Reign gave away a lot of fights towards defender spawn. This time, none of those fights are coming through.
Kakarot, put from the shadows, collected one player's information. And again, you know, as I just mentioned, those retakes are really important because Metal already conditioned themselves for those retakes. The lockdown has been invested and we both picks Tricky there. Rules with a good pick, but Hoax was there for a trade. But this defender's lockdown just force out the players from the C side. And Kakarot is alone on his own, secures one, but Sai picks him apart, thrashes him, and another round on board. I like how Gosling just playing around with Metal because once they reset their max loss bonus, they secures a round just after losing one.
I feel like this entire match has just very sparing utility used, you know? Nobody's actually investing too much utility. We haven't seen one of those rounds where there's so many ultimates in the sky you can barely make sense of anything. A lot of those rounds existed in yesterday's game, but we haven't just seen that level of chaos so far. Everything is just dry.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah.
Even with the lockdown invested, God's Reign had quite a lot of space to work with. Autumn was left towards back C side, the rest of them fell back towards long, where they were easily able to thwart the backstab from Metal. This time though, God's Reign aren't going towards C at all. In fact, they're not going anywhere. They are holding their defaults right outside A lobby. A smoke on either side. There was one towards lobby which has just expired, and then another one towards short to make sure that Kakarot can't make a move. But look at Kakarot going upstairs, and we've seen something similar from God's Reign before. You can't use the same trick against them. You can't use Tix's own tricks on him.
Middle's just trying to be a little bit sneaky there, and yeah, they got punished. God's Reign already knows about what you can do with that paranoia setup in a shrouded step. So they were prepared for that, and Hoax punishes them. And now it's again on to TC Rules because he's doing a great job throughout this map. Kakarot is not here, but it's still a 3v5 situation. It is doable because you have a lockdown, you have an Hunter's Fury, and also the Rolling Thunder in the backpack, but now it's more difficult because you lost Rules.
Yeah, and even if you use the Rolling Thunder somehow, you don't have the numbers to back it up at all. Plus, Autumn's playing with a shorty in your face, so what can you possibly accomplish with all that? You might as well go for a save now. At least in the next round, Metal Esports have some hope. You know, they've got 2 massive ultimates available. Plus, with 2 weapons saved, they can easily purchase Bulldogs to supplement the firepower. God's Reign, on the other hand, are keeping it so clean. It's almost like they have to use only a fraction of their strat book to get into these sites. The C side is being given to them without any problems at all. Yes, there was that one round where they overextended and got a bit overconfident in the end during retake. But they fixed that mistake instantly. And God's Reign are winning without even breaking a sweat.
And they were prepared for that A side push, by the way, in this round, right? They saw that middle just using that one strat again and again from the past 2 rounds. Why not we just, instantly break it or just try to punish them when they're trying to, utilize or just take control of the A lobby. Autumn picks Tricky with the help of Sai's Owl Drone, and in that very situation, maybe in hurry, Kakarot used a paranoia and got punished too. From that very moment, they lost their controller, so you can't delay the push from God's Reign, and DC rules gave away the side. But now, the same thing might happen. Tricky reveal his position. Unfortunately, got scanned by that recon, playing around through that Blade Storm. And again, a good investment from the side of God's Reign. They haven't invested a lot, but still, it's enough to pull a lot of the players of middle towards the C side. And now they are going A.
At least this time, MLT Esports have stacked up the A side. This can actually be one of those rounds where they hit the ground running. But Tricky has been cornered already, and he gets pounded. Autumn swinging out wide. At least a good shot from Kakarot dropping out of heaven makes this a little more easier. But Fox has already taken quite a lot of damage due to the nanoswarms. He's just playing green ground. The Rosies with the board, and he will finally hand him a rose at his grave. Another round for MLT Esports. They needed this quite desperately.
Yeah. They needed this desperately, and finally they got it in a good thrifty round though, because they just saved 2 weapons from the previous round and quickly invested on that Blade Storm. Kakarot, especially when Kakarot secures a pick, Fox was very comfortable to peek from the defender's alley and also secures the final pick too. So a good round for Medal. We might witness a 9-3 swap, and Autumn for the first time he has that operator in his hand. So God's Reign be like, you know what, we're just gonna invest everything we have in the backpack.
Oof, that was a close one. Now at least I figured out where the op is, so maybe Autumn can figure out something on his own. It is quite rare to see Jets operating on the attacking side. And because God's Reign have so much money, they're comfortable picking one up and then dropping it right there as they have to switch to their assault rifles again.
Off your feet!
This is the mid-round 40 Medal. Rolling Thunder has been invested in both. The man somehow managed to escape. Kakarot, how much luckier man could be? POE, it's Kakarot. Somehow managed to survive. Both the Hunter's Fury has been invested, Jay and Sai. And both of them haven't achieved anything. Just clear out some space, that's it. And just because of those spacing, God's Reign got the side, and now a counter's Rolling Thunder to deny the plant. You have 30 seconds, God's Reign. You need to do something.
Well, this retake has been done before the spike can even be planted, so this can be a bit tricky. Speaking of tricky, he starts popping off with the op. Fox jumps out, and the elevation helps him get so many. Finally drops to the ground and dropping Sai as well. MLT Esports have recovered somehow. 8-4 is much better than what we saw at the start, because God's Reign were just running away with this entire half, you know. MLT Esports did quite well to make preemptive rotations and stand in their way.
And I like the fact that Tricky was going for a knife in the final round and got a support from his teammates. Was just funny. Although 8-4 is the new curse in the NODWIN Valorant Challenge of South Asia. I don't want it to be true, but I really want Medal to, just go for a comeback.
Yep. Let's see whether MLT Esports can make this comeback happen, or will God's Reign finish Haven in a clean manner. We'll find out on the other side of this break.
For my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen X. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
The way Gosrin started this map, I thought it's going to be a one-sided affair, but Medal somehow managed to clinch in 4 rounds in their favor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NODWIN Valorant Challenger South Asia. This match is one of the most important matches for both the teams because Medal might register their first win and Gosrin might secure their second for this group. Medal now they are on the attack side because this is the swap and Gosrin playing on the defensive side in Autumn. Holy, that was a good pattern from the side of Kakarot.
Yeah, the timing was terrible for Autumn. He was just trying to peek out of the smoke and the paranoia hit him square in the face. Now the rest of his teammates have to make up for this fallen grace. But Jay picks up the pace. This guy is on fire. Triple kill and Tricky makes it 4. Folks having way too much to do on his plate. And he's getting peppered from every direction. Death by 1,000 paper cuts for this guy.
And the first pistol round for Medal in this map. Quite happy because now they can just go and register a comeback here because now you'll get the 6th round pretty easily. If Gosrin doesn't do any type of some shenanigans, maybe they can go for a force buy, but I don't think so that's going to be a better option here because Medal they can easily clinch in this round because they have a Vandal in the hands of Jay. Kakarot with a full shield Marshal. What an investment.
Okay, smokes exchange on either side because of these moments. And look at the smokes on either side. One of them to prevent the entry, but it doesn't matter because the second one has been used just to set up a one-way, which Autumn could probably dash into, but it doesn't really matter now because pick comes through on JE without even a line of sight.
No way. It's a close round though, and Medal playing very slow. This is just Gosrin condition them to play because usually Medal's playstyle is very fast because the way Fox and Jay sets up Tricky is just pretty perfect and also it surprises your opponents. And Tricky just going solo here. A good fault line. Autumn hiding behind that box but got punished by Fox. And Vibo was good enough for one. He secures another, but Kakarot through a classic burst shuts down Vibo. But it's a 2v3 favoring Gosrin.
This is going to be rough. They've already started wrapping around the other side. Smokes kind of make you feel that Kakarot's aware about this push, but the crossfire is not that strong. DC Rules will end up facing them first, and he gets traded out. Sai with a nutty headshot. Nice finisher. And MLT Esports, they thought they were back in this game after winning the pistol, but God's Rain steal all the momentum back. Speaking of stealing momentum, don't you think their watch party has literally doubled in size all of a sudden? There's just so many more people than there were 2 rounds ago.
And some of them are hiding, to be honest. We can't see the face of one of the man I know, it's Omen. He is shy guy though. But hey, that's what you need, right? If your team is winning, you're there to support. And the way they are playing, it was a fearless round for Team Gosrin. Despite of the fact Medal had a better buy, they still managed to win the previous round. And kudos to the first pick. When Jay got picked, they denied the C site entry just because of one thing, and that is a dark cover. That dark cover investment and the shock and the Sheriff headshot was enough to stop Medal, and now they are struggling in terms of economy. Gosrin is seemed like they were prepared for this matchup already.
Waiting in the darkness. And on the other side is the man who's picked up this darkness. It's none other than Tix himself. DC rules. He's hoping to hear some footsteps, maybe catch any over-aggression. But with Tix playing like an early warning system, he's gonna be able to relay information to his team very soon. A drone has already been used by side towards A, so they should give them information. But it's a bit too late. If they figured it out like 2 seconds ago, maybe Tix could have survived. And now even Vivor's in danger. He's burning alive in the Nano Swarm. At least he's able to spray Kakarot down before he falls to dust.
But it doesn't matter, they recover Phantom. They already bought Bulldog in the early stages. DC the rules also recovers a Spectre. Sai just picks Tricky, but Tricky before going down, he dished out a lot of damage. And Sai with the second. Jay needs to step up in this crucial situation, and he got peppered down by Autumn from a different angle. Rules wrapped up from the garage towards the defender's alley. Spots out Sai as well as Sai did the same. But they are trying to stick. They are trying to go for a defuse, but Hoax and Autumn, that double peak was perfect. Rules trying everything he can, but still lost. My man Rules just trying to prove his mettle with God's Reign. Again, a crucial round for them.
Yeah, it was crucial. Sai got a good amount of information with the drone that he used. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to relay that information back in time. Otherwise, Tix and Vibor could have probably taken some preemptive actions, maybe gotten away and saved their lives. Even then, at least Vibor was able to spray one down, even though he was burning and blind. But then the retake flashes from Hoax. Absolutely perfect. They slap MLT Esports blind. Leave them dazed and concussed. And that enables Sai to get a double kill. Now he's picked up so much pace that he's 1 point away from the Hunter's Fury. Takes. Okay then. He's brave enough to be spamming with a Vandal.
Sai collected that ultimate orb and he has his Hunter's Fury now.
Yeah. And that was quite a brave collection too, you know, there was an op in their faces. Okay, there you go. Instantly used up. He tags his own teammate a bit, but that's okay because he's killed Fox right away. At least the silver lining over here is that DC Rules will no longer hesitate to use his own lockdown since it can't be broken anymore. But then again, Vibor can just simply put another counter lockdown, essentially throwing this round into a stalemate.
Oh, this is going to be a crucial crossfire setup. A good flash, side peaks, but those trades were just perfect. Rule secures 2, makes it a 3v3 now. Hoax left alone on the side, and look at the position of Autumn running with an operator, and the counter's lockdown has been invested. Hoax needs to survive, at least get one pick, and he will get it for free. Kakarot just being cheeky and got punished, but Jay somehow managed to trade him out too. But Autumn, are you careful? And he certainly was.
Yeah, DC Rules trying to dodge the lockdown, walking straight into Autumn's crosshairs. Oh, but hold on though, Jay's made this possible. And since he knows Autumn's position already, he can easily plant without having to worry about anything. He doesn't cross towards CT though, he's holding towards Hell. From this position, he cannot use the Hunter's Fury, he will have to win the aim duel. But does Autumn check for him under Hell though? Given the crossing and the window opportunity, Autumn might assume that Jay's escaped towards CT. I mean, why would he assume anything else? That's the perfect place for a Sova to hide. He goes for the challenge and Jay's up for it.
Jay also had a recon available, but he was relying on his instincts as well as on his aim, and both of them were just perfect. MLT Esports trying to register a comeback, and especially after that first initial kills. But I like the fact how Rules just always sets him up for those battles, and also winning those crucial rounds. After this pick, I thought this was done, was a 2v1 situation, but Jay handled it pretty smoothly and secures another round. 6-10 is the scoreline, and now God's Reign, they are suffering in terms of cash. Look at that, a Marshall in the hands of Tex, and every single one of them playing with upgraded pistols. Autumn collected that ultimate point, now he also has his Breach Storm available.
I wonder if the drone will spot anyone. It's dangerous, you know, if anyone gets tagged up by that drone or by the recon for that matter, Jay can instantly use the Hunter's Fury to get that kill. For now, they will just use the smokes and nano swarms to push God's Reign away. Just like that, the spike's planted. And now Jay can just fall back. He can use the Hunter's Fury to deny this defuse as long as possible. If God's Reign start to pick up too much momentum, then they can even use the Rolling Thunder. Contact taken. Autumn a bit too fast for this one. He's able to decapitate everybody. Tricky and DC Roots falling like flies. Fox doing his level best to hold on to dear life. The Rolling Thunder pushes them back. Paranoia is exchanged from both the Omens, but at least Tix has been taken care of. Time is running out. The spikes off gone, and so are the hopes for God's Reign. The crossfire between these two players is immense. Bulldog shredding them to bits, and now it's over. Metal Esports have done it.
Secures the round, but at what cost? You lost every single body, and also you had to invest one ultimate. Although it was a good approach, you can still go for light. Maybe some players need to work on around those light shield, but hey, it doesn't matter. You got the round. But the approach from the side of Autumn, despite the fact it just dropped down to 20% of his HP, still managed to shut Tricky down. But this approach from Kakarot and Fox, peppering down those bullets through the dark cover, just worked perfectly as they thought. And Kakarot, in the final kill, they used Classic. But now, God's Reign, they have whatever they wanted, and that's going to be the cash. Hoax also has his Rolling Thunder for the post plant, and similar thing for Jay, but Tricky was allowed to enter inside the side with Sai. How you managed to do that, dude?
It's so weird to see all these people spam along with the Vandals and still get those frags. Sai executes Tricky without even having a line of sight. There were two smokes in between these players, and yet the sixth sense prevails.
Already the big guy is out from middle.
Yeah, the drone doesn't spot Autumn. This could be dangerous for Metal.
But hey, this smokes just provokes the team of God's Reign that middle might be, rushing towards A because it's a smoke covering the short angle and especially potentially that operator. So a good dark cover, but middle tries to move towards the B.
It's a contact play
after destroying the turret. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this one. They're trying to walk in dry. It would have worked under any other circumstance, but in this particular round, God's Reign have a triple stack on the B side, so the contact play is not going to work. Rolling Thunder gets sent. Vibor instantly picking up the pace. The Paranoia only helps to keep Kakarot alive for a moment, and he can teleport away to safety as well. That wasn't supposed to happen. Kakarot should have been a dead man. And now with the ultimate, he can easily go elsewhere. Cancels it. At least he's gathered information, but it's not enough. God's Reign have stopped them in their tracks, and now the time has run out. Finished by time, not by intention. That's the perfect metaphor for Metal Esports. They tried to cook too much.
Yeah.
Tried flirting around with the idea of going A, exchange utility over there, but didn't do enough to sell the fake, and that's why God's Reign was still stationed towards B. They thought that making a contact play would surprise God's Reign, but nah, they were having the read all throughout. And if there were less defenders on the B side, maybe the contact play would have been successful, but when every single angle is being checked, A-link, C-link, and backside, you can't afford to rely on those contact plays.
Get out of my way!
Especially when you're dazed with that Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
Although Kakarot was very good with his backup plan, he used from shadows towards the A-link, collected that spike, but the time was his enemy. And now look at this! God's Reign completely left the B side. Okay, Vibor is back on track. Playing around with his turret and also a swarm grenade, but Tricky got the back of sight pretty easily, and Fox tagged a lot of damage, dude. Have done that, and now you got killed by an aftershock. Funny to see that.
Yeah, he was very desperate to plant. You could see it in his eyes. Tanked the nanoswarms, even tanked the aftershock in order to do that. Really committed to the cause, so at least he's planted the spike now. But what else now? Paranoia sent back to make sure God's Reign can't push through Garage, and they're looking to do so exactly. Tricky with the Blade Storm gets the frags while you have the Omen Kakarot distracting you. He sets up bait for Tricky, and Tricky's popping off. 3 for this man already. The young lad doing wonders, and Jay's big laser goes for it. No, Wibor almost had this one. Vipo almost had this one. It was the turret that kills him. He was a couple of milliseconds away from defusing that spike. Jesus, God's Reign must be feeling absolutely wild to go for mental defuses like that.
Takes. Oh, what?
Yeah, that was quite a cool round, you know. I almost thought Vibor has it in the bag.
Yeah.
Like, he tanked all that damage. The spams didn't help him. Didn't affect him. The Hunter's Fury didn't touch him, and then the turret does it all. Oh no! On him with the wrong dash. He could have easily fallen back, dodging the flashes, dodging death. But this time, Tricky's a bit faster. And the dash back into the wall, that was the final nail in the coffin.
Right there.
Fox literally slides past Sai's crosshair placement. Instant 2 kills for MLT Esports. I don't think they've had such a big man advantage in the past.
Yeah. God's playing so aggressively despite the fact they had a decent buy. Not decent, in fact, look at that. Takes and Vipo, both of them have a good weapon and also light shield and heavy shield. But Sai playing so aggressive and got killed. But yeah, he got some information. He was playing around that, but Tex shuts down Jay, and now Vibo needs to work. He at least, if he gets at least 3 picks, that's gonna be enough, or maybe 2 would work.
Okay. These frags being exchanged are actually quite impressive, and God's Reign have now arrived on scene. They identified the hits quickly. Spike dropped into its logs. DC Rules has to dig it out.
30 seconds left.
Hoax is just going to play for contact. Tix is definitely not going to move. He's just going to make sure that nobody can flank from garage. And as soon as Hoax gets into a little bit of trouble, Tix is going to peek out and get that trade. DC Rules has no way to isolate these gunfights. He just has to hope that the trades aren't proper. And now that Tix has spotted him, he can try to go for the fake punt. Are you actually committing? Oh my god, you mad lad. Nerves of steel, and finally put out of his misery.
A double peak was perfect, but good approach by Roots. Again, just managing to, do a lot of a job for his team. Rules proving that why he is in the squad, why he is playing with the other players of middle in the split 2 consistently. And after this, 2 picks of Autumn and Sai, I thought this could be team middle's round because you got the first pick, not 1, at least you got 2. But then they thought to run towards the C side, and that garage play from Tix was just out of this world. Secure 2 picks from the similar position and even out the things. And from that very situation, simultaneously, Webo was also not committing, just holding to, middle to commit some more, and then he could punish them. But hey, good round, and now we can see a timeout from middle. Although this was God's Reign pick, so you test out a lot of damage though. 8 to 12, it's still a good scoreline. You can stretch a little bit more, but winning this map is gonna be risky.
Yeah, that will be quite difficult. So far, MLT Esports, even though God's Reign aren't hitting them with something super new, they're struggling to keep up. I mean, we've already established that God's Reign are the kind of team that will have no trouble reading what their opponents are doing, but for Metal to not find any success on the back of these executes is quite rare, you know? And they always end up losing the spike in the most awkward situations. I mean, at least 2 rounds before this one, at least Kakarot had the ultimate with which he used to recover the spike. But every now and then, MLT Esports keep losing the spike in very precarious positions, and that kind of screws up their pace. And in an attempt to recover it, they take too much time, eventually running out of it.
Deploying drone.
They did lose 1 round literally because the clock ran out. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening. That will boil your economy down to a crisp.
Will compromise his position and good amount of utility trades, but yes, again, the spike got dropped inside with the perfect Hunter's Fury secures a pick, and without even just using a bullet, Sai makes it 2v5, in fact 3v5, and oh my god, folks, what was that timing? Tricky is there, but with only 14 HP, and Rules is also supporting him, but this is going to be very difficult for both of them.
Yeah, they had like 1 win condition, and that was using Hoax's ultimate. He gets trapped. Lockdown placed, instantly gives away the position of the killjoy, but Sai will decapitate. Easy cleanup for God's Reign. MLT Esports not able to really show up over here. seeming a little lacking today. Maybe they haven't completely woken up. The utility wasn't suppressive enough to boil God's Reign away from their comfort zones or really displace them either. And that gives God's Reign a win without even breaking a sweat. I hope they do better on Pearl because they will need a lot more util dump in order to trail themselves a path into the site or any other place that they want to take control of for that matter.
Ooh, to be honest, I was missing those Fox and Tricky plays a lot in those on the attacker side of middle, because we usually witness a lot of similar plays from middle, but they were unsuccessful throughout the map.
Yeah. We'll discuss this map in more detail, ladies and gentlemen. There's more to it than meets the eye. See you on the other side of this break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
I know my destiny. I know my destiny. I know my destiny. I know my destiny. I know my destiny.
Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to welcome our YouTube audience back to Omen Presents NODWIN Gaming Valorant Challengers South Asia. We have just witnessed God's Reign defeat MLT Esports in the first map of Haven. It was quite a simple win for them, and MLT Esports weren't able to figure out what to do in time. Let's hope that on their own map pick of Pearl, they are able to mount some resistance. Oh, already we have a Viper coming out of Fox. And an Astra. Okay, a Viper Astra. This is quite weird. I've seen Harbor Viper, I've seen Harbor Astra, but Viper Astra is a bit... Alright, I mean, I don't have anything against it. I think it seems pretty nice. On the other hand, there's only a single controller on God's Reign, that is the Astra. They have a double initiator instead, the KO as well as the Sova. You don't see a lot of teams using Sova on Pearl, but God's Reign are able to make it work most of the times.
But hey, they switched to a KO with, they switched to a KO from that Breach, right? They usually play with Breach on the map of Pearl too. Yeah, so it's a nice change because you can collect a lot of information, and both these initiators are information collective initiators. So if it works for God's Reign, then nothing wrong with it. But audience prediction, look at that heavy amount of audience, 84.96 fans are supporting God's Reign, 15.04 for medal. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the map pick for Pearl, and God's Reign had an opportunity to choose a side. They are playing on the attacker side and medal on the defensive side.
They showcase a little bit of presence towards A, that's all. Only a tiny bit. And then they're heading back towards B-Link. So God's Reign are gonna hurtle down these corridors. The Viper Toxin screen on Fox is gonna try to delay them. And if that doesn't work, then these even nano swamps set up by Metal. So planting should be quite a difficult affair for God's Reign.
Here.
They're using the shock darts to break a little bit of KJ util. They've only broken one nano swamp, but the rest of them are still active. Dash in from Autumn. Clears out the pack pulse, sees nobody over there, but B-Link doesn't have any smokes, so God's Reign will have to fight their way through over here.
They need to be careful of Kakarot. They need to be careful of Kakarot because he is going for the backstab. Every single one of them are like alive. Rules just tanked a lot of damage. Autumn just spraying from the B halls. The guiding light has been utilized and Tricky shuts down Tex. But Vibor and Autumn secures 2 picks in a row. Fox with the classic burst might get another, but no, Vibor denies that. And Rules got punished again from a different angle. And Vibor with the third, and I think so he also got the spike plant, okay, maybe someone else, but 3 for Vibor, and easy round for the team God's Reign, and Autumn secured 2 out of those 3, out of those 5, so a good round. I like how the defensive setup was from the side of Metal. That Toxic Screen Alarm Bot and those Swamp Grenades setup was pretty huge. But it didn't work out as they expected, right? Because I remember that Sai used a shock dart to just deny one of the swarm grenades. And when he got one, Autumn just pushed in from the long to the B halls area and also took control of the B back. It was a good round. Now God's Reign, they have a better buy. And OKJ trying to be cheeky. His position has been revealed. The A side is completely empty. Metal is falling back from their comfortable spot to a safer area. The stars has been played and they might get converted into those nebula sticks. Got the site and Autumn, a good bench from Art to the from the A main. And God's Reign has this side. Metal will try to just get some picks if they get allowed to. They might just fall back and get killed by the detonation, that spike area, to just get a better buy in the next round and also deny those ultimate points to your opposition. Because it's important, right? Ultimate farming is a very crucial thing in Valorant, that if you do so, you can deny those crucial round in which one round could be converted or maybe could change by just choosing one ultimate. Vibor is going for one pick, secures one, might get another. Yes, he will. Tricky shuts him down, but at the end, Vibor found a lot. And I think so. Vibor is just few ultimate points away because in the start of the first round, he secured 3. Now he got 2 more. So it sum up to 5. And if he got the ultimate, if he got the spike planted, he just 1 or 2 ultimate points far behind from that lockdown. So Vibor is just doing so good with that ultimate farming, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. 1 point away from lockdown in the third round itself, when nobody else is beyond 2 or 3 points. That is ridiculous. Get him the A main orb, and then you have yet another round for free. And I mean, with that lockdown, you don't even need to worry about weapons in the hands of MLT Esports. They finally have a buy. Drone being used to it. Hey, I hope it doesn't push Tricky out of position. It does. But he still has his dash and the op, which is quite risky. You know, he's playing with a glass cannon. No armor on him.
And look at that. The lockdown is being used. And
as expected.
They're just waiting for, God's Reign to just fall back. And yeah, I just mentioned, yeah, as expected. But waiting for those nebulas and finally here, Tricky! To be honest, Autumn was quite lucky. Otherwise, it could have been big. But now they are comfortable in this post-plant situation. And again, I just want to tell my audience that this is the bonus round for God's Reign. And if they win this one, they might just enjoy one of the most crucial or one of the most awesome start in the second map of the series.
Exactly, already got the first map, and now the B side thrown into a 5v5. Spike taking away, and they haven't gotten a single kill yet. With this range, even the Spectre should be deadly enough, but at least they've cleared out backside now. And on the back of the Viper and the Astra smokes, they will try and go in. Defuse. Sai dives into the smoke, takes off DC's skull. But there you go, here's the trade, and Vibor once again spraying them down. Like I said, as long as you keep putting up these smokes, these Spectres can continue wreaking havoc at close range. God's Reign convert the bonus as well. And that was quite a hefty investment from MLT Esports. They lost the op.
And also the round. Oh my god, we both still managed to get 3 ultimate points from this round too. How this man is just doing this? Just playing around with those Killjoy ultimates and perfect because he got the plant and he also got 2 picks before just winning the round. And again, a similar start but on a different map. It's God's Reign, ladies and gentlemen. I think so they are in a hurry. They just want to end the series as soon as possible because they might enjoy a good dinner.
Yeah, they're going in for a speed run. So, utilities exchange on A, a guiding light thrown out by G, but at the same time, Hoax uses a 0 point, and they see quite a lot of people. So as soon as they detect a triple presence on the A site, they go towards B, which is the only natural response, you know. Metal, on the other hand, are stacking up towards Art and Double Door, and I don't really blame them. They can't afford to fight at range with just these pistols on B long. So they might as well take control elsewhere. This is looking like yet another 5v5 retake. The only difference being Autumn doesn't dash towards backside. He goes in towards Heaven. And through the nano swarms goes Sai. No room for DC Rules to breathe.
Veto farming. Actually farming. But hey, Tricky picks him, breaks his skull, but it doesn't matter at the end. It's going to be takes. And might upgrade his weapon, and yes, he will. Switch to a bundle, he had a Bulldog, and 4 rounds for God's Reign in a row. Metal will get another chance, and to be honest, they haven't got their single ultimate yet.
Exactly.
Metal is suffering, dude.
Exactly, they're suffering. Meanwhile, Vibor is very close to his second lockdown. It's only been 4 rounds. Hey, you remember that one interview which in which Autumn said that he's gonna farm Velocity? I mean, I don't know if he actually was able to do it, but they're certainly farming over here. We see all these peoples rolling in the I-20N line every day, but today Vibor rolls up in a tractor. And he's steamrolling them, man.
No way. And look at that, he just needs 1 ultimate point, and he got it. Pretty smoothly. And now another lockdown. The 5th round, and he invested the 2nd lockdown. Metal, what you guys are doing? Oh my god, Tricky! This is not working out for Metal at all.
At all. That was the 2nd op he purchased. Yet another glass cannon, and he gets punished instantly. At least it's a 4v4. Slightly easier than the previous round. But this time, once again, God's Reign tried to play aggressively towards B-Link. Last time, Sai was able to get quite a lot of kills over here, but this time, not so much. Autumn takes a dink through the wall. Lucky enough to survive. He's just gonna use the Nebulas for cover now. MLT Esports, once at it, and have to make it quickly. God's Reign anticipating a backstab, which isn't gonna come through this time. All of them hitting in from the front lines. Nebulas have expired, and very soon even the Toxin screen will drop, but before the Toxin screen drops, Autumn will. Gravity well being used to just keep them away, but Tix, now left to his own devices, already low on HP, has to go ahead and face the music. There's an op staring down at him, and finally MLT Esports are able to put one on board.
Finally a round, and kudos to Jay because he was the one who secured the first pick from the side of Metal. He saw that the lockdown is forcing them to just fall back, but before going back from the Heaven area, he secures one and makes it a 4v4. But Vibo, to be honest, this was kind of anticipated, right? Vibo just going very aggressive towards that B-Link, and that's the 3rd time he's just trying to punish the player who was surviving or just playing around the B-Link. But this time he got punished with his rules, had a backup, and also he was pretty perfect with his aim too. And these type of over-aggressive plays or over-commitment wasn't required from the side of God's Reign, but to be honest, I think so they're just following a script. Win 4 rounds, give one of them away, and then win the follow-up round to reset the loss bonus and to put up the similar amount of pressure. God's Reign.
Well, quite a lot of control taken by Metal. Tricky this time, finally with an op, but with armor as well. Is pushing into A main along with the help of Jay's flashes. Viper pits cover Art, but also covers a tiny bit of the double door, so that makes mid almost impossible to access. Vibor, very risky mission, picks off Kakarot mid-air. He was just trying to go for a jump peek, and now Vibor has cleared out the site for his team. They will easily follow up. I don't think they were even planning to actually go for the B commitment, but now that they have it for free, why not? Why wouldn't they plant over here? They've even got the Hunter's Fury on Sai.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. Collect the ultimate op, and now 4 of the players from MLT Esports forced to play against this 5-man stack, especially when they are running out of time. And Tricky still has his available that still has his operator available, but he won't be able to do much. And before Tank had
Player standing.
Seekers, but oh no, Tricky. That's the end.
That's just the end. I thought that because God's Reign have a Hunter's Fury, they will try to fall back towards the top of B ramp, play at range, you know, just set up side for success. Instead, they all just stay inside the site. There's plenty of Nebulas that MLT Esports are using, and they use Kakarot's cover against his own team. They just hold on to those crucial positions towards orange box, towards backside, and completely nullify any presence of MLT Esports. And now the alarm bells gotta start ringing for them. MLT Esports, whatever they are trying on the B side hasn't really worked for them. The only round in which they found success was one where they were able to get all the kills going into the retake.
But we can see a clear pattern, right?
Yeah.
That just reset the bonus when, like, Middle would least expect it.
Tactical timeout taken. I don't think God's Reign need to worry about anything. I guess whatever they're discussing right now would be to potentially theory craft about what Metal can do to counter them. And then maybe Metal will get countered with God's Reign seeing it coming from a mile away. I just noticed that this restaurant serves raw fish. What? Yeah, you saw the fish on that plate?
Yeah.
That was so weird. Who serves fish like that? Certainly not Indians. This multiverse has some weird cuisine. Meanwhile, God's Reign are just eating Metal alive.
Fools hasn't had his chance, but oh no, quite unlucky. He might get one, but hey, got denied. And a good pinch from side of Team God's Reign. Two of the players from Metal trying to go for the backstab, and one of them is going to be Jade covering the attacker spawn, and Tricky just moving from the art area. He has his available. He has his base storm available. Big sticks, and now he's just moving forward. It's a 4v4 situation in which Fox has the Hero Vandal and Kakarot. Has to be careful, and he wasn't. Got punished. The backlines are clear now.
Yeah, and this is such a difficult situation for Metal. They're coming out of Art with the semi-crossfire established between Autumn and everyone on A main. They can use the poison up to force the God's Reign players on A main outside, but it still is not gonna help because they will crunch them hard. This time Autumn goes on a farming spree. A triple from this man, and MLT Esports lose all the momentum. Tricky gave them an advantage, you know, he made a little opening. He has his own Blade Storm. Fox steals the gun that was fallen, and he picks up the Astra's weapon. And despite having Tix's weapon in their hands, they couldn't do much.
And thanks to Hoax, because that 0 point was just perfect. Reveals the positioning of the players of Metal, also suppressing that Blade Storm of Tricky. And at that very moment when they were trying to enter inside the site, they got punished pretty hard. So, God's Reign, individual performing. The individual performance is also perfect, and they might just do the same thing they had done in the previous round, bench the A side with the help of Outrun to clear out the A main and move towards the Art. But now Middle, they had enough investment to invest in those utilities, and the Storm Grenade and Alarm Bot has been triggered. It means at least one of the players is here. And Tricky has a lot of information, so just because of this, Middle knows that this is going to be an A hit, but Kakarot, dude, you could have been waited for the peak, or maybe just falls back.
Oh my god, imagine Metal having all the information but still not being able to stop God's Reign. That is just tragic. And now God's Reign are split heavily. Two of them playing very passively towards A main, while the three members of God's Reign who are towards Secret are gonna put up a firing gallery over here. Tricky doesn't even expect someone this close. He might expect one or two, but he doesn't know that there's so many available over here. Now that he finally discovers it, it's already too late. The rest of his teammates were trying to make impact from Art as well, but they find nothing at all.
What?
Autumn with a quad kill. This guy's on a roll. Triple in the previous round, and now a 4-piece. Come on, dude. Give them some slack. Cut them some breathing room.
take flight.
Turret's destroyed. My ultimate is ready.
Third lockdown.
Shot that.
Yeah, even Tix is present towards the market side, so he's most likely just gonna try and go in for a flank late round into double door. And since there's no killjoy utility present towards double door, he might actually be able to make this whole flank successful. But first, his teammates need to plant the spike.
One suppressed. Astra's dead. Flash.
Remaining.
Exactly, he's on 15 frags already. And so many of them came in just the last few rounds. Triple, quadruple, double, and yeah, I mean, I don't really blame God's Reign, especially when their team is playing so well. It looks like a dream performance from God's Reign, you know? A dream run. Which is partially why their teammates are sleeping to facilitate this dream even further. MLT Esports had only one win condition, somehow get a pick at the start and then use the lockdown. But with Hoax having his null command, they can't use any ultimates, no abilities. Yeah, it doesn't look like Metal's pick, does it? This Pearl map is turning into a nightmare for them. Attack helicopter Autumn spots the target, but Blade's not connecting. That is still okay because of his presence towards a top. He's drawn out rotations. Look at the setup from Metal now. It's just tricky over here. And this time he's not wielding the op. In fact, it's DC Rules who's got the op, and he's opting from Secret towards A. Luckily, God's Reign avoid this area like the plague. Tricky also will most likely be forced to relinquish this area, but at least he's given away information which draws in rotations. The cavalry has arrived for Metal. This will finally be a round where they are in position to stop God's Reign from a B hit. Will they be able to do it though? Dash in from Autumn. Now the action begins. Sobayutil not wheeling anyone. And as the smoke fades, Kakarot drops onto the floor. Fox with a good retaliation. And MLT Esports finally are able to stop God's Reign. Very well placed. All the players arrived to the right places in time. And that's what happens when you're able to get preemptive rotations done. God's Reign will fall, relinquishing yet another round, but it's already a bit too late. I mean, even if MLT Esports win every single round after this, it will be an 8-4. A deja vu from the previous map.
Out. Find the weak point.
3 ultimates available on Metal, and we kind of have been waiting to see them pop them.
Uh-huh.
JE has been able to find this, he's been able to farm up that second Seeker set.
That back.
Birds on A, reveal position of a couple of God's Reign members, but then again they're showing presence on B2 with the drone.
Bro.
And this kind of tells Metal that, yeah, God's Reign are no longer going to continue pushing out. They've finally gone back to their defaults, which means it's their time to start aggressing.
Blinded.
An important round, and a good shot up to just deny if there are some KG utilities. So
They're
just
not.
being cautious, yeah. Also, one more thing, and Autumn has that operator, so it's a huge investment from God's Reign side.
Yeah,
Toxin screen down.
it will be difficult for him to find a pick, especially on B, since Trick is not revealing himself. But at least Jay's popped the Seekers now. doesn't tell them too much, you know. They knew exactly what they did before, that God's Reign are playing on defaults. At least with the secret from B long going all the way, lets them know that God's Reign have given up the B side, so they can probably start staking A again. And the last time MLT Esports stacked the side, they were successful. Oh, but not like this. MLT Esports have the read, but Kakarot gives away his life for free. Oh, never mind. Jay is able to get one through the smoke. Returns the favor by shooting down Fox. And he continues pressing onwards. There's just no stopping this man.
And I like the switch of these weapons. Autumn just went inside his side to plant the spike, and Sai had that operator. And it was a good dissipate from the side of Tix, confusing the opposition that it might be a Nebula, so you have to hold on, but it was a dissipate, and he instantly secures another. Jay, pretty common spot to, go for a spray transfer. Tix, quick with his aim, no doubt.
9-2, might as well be 10. God's Reign are doing everything perfectly. They can't do no wrong. And MLT Esports have only found success in 2 rounds, partially because they stacked the A side and the B side respectively. If they're not in the right place at the right time, if the rotations don't arrive, then MLT Esports will have no chance.
Look at the spike.
Yeah, it's still towards A main.
You are divided.
Meanwhile, the presence that MLT Esports are showcasing on the B side have drawn in the rotations. God's Reign are throwing in quite a lot over here, you know. The fragment, the flashes, even Autumn's position was revealed over here. So this kind of forces the lockdown out of MLT Esports. They've got a 4 stack on the B side. But now that lockdown will expire, Metal realize, yeah, we made a mistake. A is wide open, and they will get the plant easily very soon. God's Reign making this look simple.
Exactly, very simple. It seems like Metal is playing according to the way God's Reign wanted them to play.
Yeah.
No way this is happening.
Walking right into their traps. Even nano swarms are denied. What can they possibly do? Kakarot trying to peek alone out of Shah's. I'm sorry, out of Flowerpot. Will be dead. Autumn using a narrow angle on the back of that Cosmic Divide. Finds the advantage and then he switches over weapons. Before burning them alive with nano swarms. Okay, now this is just a bit too much.
Switching sides.
And as you just
they didn't even know that the nano swarms
Yeah.
were burning on the other side of that Cosmic Divide, you know. They thought, yeah, maybe there's one. So they peek out of that Cosmic Divide, hoping to double peek, hoping to get the frag onto Hoax, and when they finally got it, they're like, yeah, we got Autumn pinned out. Let's just go across. And then this happens, man. Come on. It's a bit difficult, man, to keep up with all of this. It's a tough pill to swallow for Metal.
I don't know what Metal is just going to do after that swap, but I think so they need some important conversation with Hacker to bounce back on their map pick.
Yeah, let's hope they can bounce back. Otherwise, this will be a quick 2-0, which boosts up God's Reign stats and pads them up on the standing board. We'll see you on the other side of the break with the second half of this match.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20N line. It's time to play.
Yes, I'm a Gen Z. Or should I say, the Gen Next. And I don't let fear hold me back from doing anything. I choose to move fearlessly to it all.
Hey buddy, we need you to trim your beard for this next scene.
What? Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I move fearlessly in most things, but I draw the line here. What if I Nico cut myself?
Try this.
Phillips.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
God's Reign is playing with Metal right now. They have another more comfortable swap on the first half. the audience is supporting pretty heavily the team God's Reign. 85% of the fans are supporting God's Reign right now. But this is the time for Middle to shine, because now they have to prove their mettle. They are playing on the attacker side, playing from the mid, and God's Reign, 3 of them are pushing from the A main. The alarm bot might detect their presence, and it will. It certainly will. This indicates Middle to just move forward a little bit, to just go and collect some map information and map control. They actually got that, but it's around the mid connector and A art. So they might push towards the A side, because they just noticed that some of the players from God's Reign are pushing from the A main, so it's better to move towards A. But I don't think so that Fox is unaware of that fact that players are here. And he just fired one bullet and he falls back towards the mid. That's a nice decision.
Yeah, but it's very difficult for him to regroup with his teammates now. He might just get trapped over here all by himself. He somehow survives all of this. You can see that Sai is desperately trying to figure out where he went. Meanwhile, Middle have already pushed into CT. Oh, this is gonna be impressive. Autumn's trapped. He's got way too much heat to handle. Meanwhile, Fox is trying to crunch in from the back lines, and he's successful as well. God's Reign are falling like flies. The A main push that they did, I thought it would actually help them out, because Metal can then crunch, you know. Metal only saw a couple people going towards A main. They didn't spot every single one of them. They wouldn't have expected 3 people of God's Reign to be over there. So I thought, yeah, maybe Metal wouldn't be able to get into post plant. But Fox's position gave them everything they needed to know.
True.
And then Metal pushing all the way towards defender spawn as well. Leave no avenue for God's Reign to mount up that retake. Clean round. They just went around each other, you know, basically playing ring around the rosies.
This is the second time they won the pistol round in the second half, so Metal is good enough, and they tend to, you know, start off pretty perfectly in the second half. But how they will manage to, you know, just maintain this lead? Not exactly the lead, just momentum. They have a better buy. Guardians, Bulldogs are here, but Tex, the reply is to just go again and show some presence towards the mid area. Autumn needs to be careful, because he has Shorty. If someone just try to approach towards him and try to just take a close battle, Autumn might win that one. And he might recover a weapon too.
Yeah. Let's look at this toxin speed that's being used by Fox. Covers B link as well as the backside, so Autumn can't even peek out for some action. Gives him a little bit of spontaneous cover. But now that the Astro smokes are being placed by Tix, MLT Esports have to reconsider their approach. They might wait a little bit more to let Fox's toxin recharge again. It's already up at 100, so they can hit them once more. But planting will still be difficult, you know. God's Reign are already present. There's so many of them over here. And all of them holding shorties on other ends. Autumn, no. Dies because he was caught in the open. But the board is still there with a shorty. He can deny the spike plant. Pokes inside, making the sheriff very useful. Fox finally recovers, but he's very low on HP. 5 health on this guy. Even the Phantom won't help in situations like these.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no. A burst from that shorty from that range just worked pretty perfectly, because he's just on 5% of his HP. And again, God's Reign winning the follow-up round after Metal won the pistol round. What's just going on? But hey, I don't think so. He has enough time. Oh my god. Rules rethinks his decision. And it just punishes him. And God's Reign won a thrifty, and Tix was just on 5% of his health.
Yeah, that's just dirty. Sure, DC Rules can save the Phantom, the most expensive weapon in their arsenal, but what's the point? Because the save penalty is gonna hit him like a truck. That's gonna be so much worse for their money situation. And God's Reign, make it a pattern, you know, every time they lose the pistol round, they win the subsequent one. This just gives them so much momentum. MLT Esports fall flat on their face before even they can get off the running blocks.
One thing is clear, and that is the way God's Reign is playing is just annihilating every single hope of Team Metal, especially when you have a better buy, right? Autumn was just being impatient, right? He was like, you know what, I just want to peek. What if someone is close towards me? I might shut him down, but that wasn't the case. But in that very situation, Psy also peeks from different angle and also secures a pick. So those trades were just perfect for helping God's Reign. And also there was a point of time when they got man advantage when they had some, when Metal had better weapons. So just because of these man advantages, just because of these trades, God's Reign have that upper advantage every single time. So Metal needs to think that They need to deny this first of all, and then they can just focus on some other stats.
Sentry.
So, whatever money can buy, it's being afforded by Metal. Phantoms and Vandals, yes, but the rest of them have Stingers and Sheriffs, and this might just be a bit awkward. It's a 5-man rush towards the B side. Metal Esports keeping it clean. This toxin screen that's been put up really forces God's Reign into awkward situations, you know? Now they can't contest the actual site itself. The best that they can do is create a crossfire between Autumn as well as Vapor. So any overextenders from Metal will get punished. But as long as they continue planting the spike ahead of the Viper toxin screen, it should be okay. Fragment is thrown to make sure the plant towards Orange Box can't be found, which plays right into their hands because Autumn's ready to spam towards Fridge. Jay is still trying to plant on the other side, very susceptible to wall banks. And now Vapor peeks out! A triple spray down! This monster devours everything! And within a matter of seconds, Fox is left to his own devices, soon to join his team in the grave. God's Reign are speedrunning this game.
Vapor was just very lucky. He spots out too, but he got the third one for free. And Autumn's positioning was very unpredictable too. Look at that. Look at that.
One enemy remaining.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I feel really bad for Metal.
Match point.
They're trying their level best to mix things up to surprise God's Reign, but they're prepared for absolutely everything. And now in the last round, the Metal Esports are supposed to just face elimination altogether. They have nothing to work with. Just one Vandal in the hands of DC Rules. That too comes at the cost of sacrificing full shields. The rest of them with just a couple of pistols.
Concealment.
And God's Reign can continue playing at range. They don't even want to fight them up close.
They know the situation of Metal in terms of cash, so yeah. They
Why
just
not?
understand us
Yeah.
very perfectly, and now just playing around with that too. So I think so DC Rules can change stuff because he has that hero Vandal available in his hands. If he gets one or two pick, or if he gets one orb, might farm the ultimate orb, so he can utilize that lockdown. Might split this round for a bit, but Sai got Jay tagged. Okay, I thought he just got his positioning, but hey, just because of this, they might know that there is Tricky available because Tricky tend to play with Jay or Fox. So if you have only one initiator, Tricky might be present with Jay. So that's going to be an extra information in which Costin can play around.
Yeah. Now the execute smokes have been set up by Metal Esports. One towards Splar, one towards a link, which leaves Dugout a little vulnerable. Sai tries to peek out of the other side, but hey, he dies instantly. Tricky covers the distance towards default, and as soon as he swings, the Stinger is deadly at range. They've done it! Metal Esports avoid the inevitable death. They keep themselves alive for just one more round. I thought God's Reign were going to go for a save, but you know what? They might actually push this out. And why wouldn't they? They've got such a big buffer. They've got plenty of money as well. There's no point to saving this one. They might as well just try to hurt Metal as much as they can. Make sure they don't walk away with too many free weapons.
That's going to be a point of concern, but Tricky got picked up instantly. Kakarot is also surviving with just 42% of his HP. Doesn't matter, his aim is superior. Rule secures one, and I think so, yeah, just Rule is just 1 point far behind from his lockdown, so that might help them to secure another round, and Kakarot also has his Cosmic Divide available. And Fox, if he gets one, or if he just farms one ultimate orb, it might get the spike planted. Fox will also get his snake bite. So, Viper Spit, by the way. So, a lot of stuff for Metal to offer. And God's Reign, they are suffering. Now, don't have the bit to buy, but I think so they might just give away this round.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they can deny the spike plant with either the Nano Swarms or the Fragment, they will still make Metal Esports very uncomfortable. That lockdown and Cosmic Divide combination can be great for clearing out sites. But God's Reign have already denied them A main control. With A main control taken by the hands of Tix, God's Reign know where these guys are coming. It's gonna be an imminent B hit. They're trying to go for mid first. There's a turret which will make Vibor aware about their presence. And as soon as he peeks, he almost got that kill. Jay, though, keeps it clean.
Tex is re-peeking from the A main, so they have an information that it might be towards mid or they might crunch towards B. But that 0 point again reveals two of the players' information, so Metal just forced to move towards the B. They left the link. They actually got picked towards a mid connector, so now they thought that the better option is to move towards a B long. And look at the rotation from the side of Team Godsrain. Every single one of them is playing around A.
Yeah, they stacked the wrong bomb site. That's completely okay though.
Seconds left.
Good flash. It should give them information about B link, and since it's empty, Metal Esports will go in and plant the spike without any resistance. God's rain now. Since they've got nothing to lose, this is going to be one of those waterfall retakes where they just pour out of heaven, pour out of CT. And all of this is going to come at once. Meanwhile, you've still got Sai marking a potential flank. Now that he realizes it's too late for Metal to go for flanks, he might as well join his teammates. Tix coming in from B link. He places the star over there, which displaces Kakarot, but it's still fine because Kakarot has re-aggressed to its CT. They're getting all the frags over here.
You already have the Seekers available, you don't need to invest those boots. Might get one to get this lockdown, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Tix might just down by the area. Oh, he got punished by a fox through that long range. Tix was just trying to get down by the spike detonation area, but okay, it doesn't matter. They got the 5th round. Now Metal can also play around those ultimates they have, right? One more ultimate to get a Viper Spit or a lockdown. Vibor has a counter lockdown available with hooks. He just need one pick to get his null command available to force his opponents to play around the aim battle. Sai has a Santa's Fury to deny that lockdown or a potential Viper Spit to clear out some area. So a lot of things can happen in this round, I think. So this is the most crucial round of this map.
Get out of my way.
Every single round is super crucial for Metal Esports now. Otherwise, they're gonna lose. At least JE has his Seekers. So in case God's Ring go for the mid-round aggression and then fall back after a pick, Metal can still recover with the information. God's Rain though. With Autumn having Sai having Hunter's Fury and Vibor having Lockdown, it will be incredibly difficult for Metal to make any headway inside. No room given to them. Autumn marking B main from that cheeky ninja spot. The 0 point also thrown in, but that doesn't give Hoax any information. So Autumn thinks it's going to be clear. If he goes to the wrong timing, he might just miss his shot, but he just recovers in time. Fox can't capitalize. Meanwhile, Tricky already deep inside connected. Now this is great. Lockdown's been placed over here towards the A side, and Sai will instantly respond with a Hunter's Fury. But it will be still difficult for them to hold on to the A side, especially when Tricky's feeling himself. He might just be the savior for the team.
Yeah. Shuts down two important players, Takes and Vipona. You don't have those important, lockdowns or those smokes to buy some more time, and now they already got the spike. So Costner just forced to play safe. They are forced to save their weaponry. And this retaliation for Metal, we've been waiting for this for a very long time, but they're finally showcasing it after Metal, after God's Reign got the series points. So they are a bit too late, but still they are doing whatever they can. 6th round on board for Metal, which is still a good sign. 6 rounds away for an overtime, but it's still going to be very crucial. And I like how Metal forces God's Reign to just move out from their comfortable spot. Autumn just got the final pick. Like, getting some exit frags, it doesn't matter because Metal still have enough cash to go for Fox to go for another buy. Look at that, he has 5,400. That's way more money than you expect.
Yeah, at least money's not going to be a problem for Metal. Because they've been stringing these together and also keeping most of their players alive, they're able to rack up quite a lot of money. The bank's looking green, and at least that's one less thing to worry about. Otherwise, it's gonna be like Haven, where it's the last round and Metal still don't have money, so they're just buying whatever they can with pennies and pocket lint. At least now the cash flow's coming in, so they should be happy at least in terms of inventory and loadouts. God's Reign with a tactical timeout want to finish this here and now before this drags on too late. Since they have plenty of weapons saved, they can bolster up the saved weaponry with just some cheap weapons. Bulldogs and Sheriffs will also work.
I think so. In this situation, if Godson gets the first pick, that might just help them a lot because Autumn has that operator to just go a bit aggressive to just force out the middle players to just peek or to get killed. Autumn's role and Sai also has his weapon, just going to play a very important role. And as you just mentioned, opting for Bulldogs and a Shorty because Autumn he has his Blaze Storm available, and he gave that operator to Sai, which means he gave his Phantom to Hoax, and Autumn can still play aggressive because that's what Blade Storm will allow you to play like that. So
yeah,
hey, let's see.
Op on Sai, Phantom on Hoax and Tix. Bladestorm on Autumn. Yeah, this is still quite a nice buy from God's Reign. They can actually end the game right here. They just gotta make sure that Fox dies, or they don't let them plant, because the Viper's Fit can deny them so much control. What a shot from Autumn. Hovers mid-air and buries Kakarot 6 feet under. That's massive because that's no longer. That means no more smokes available for Metal Esports. Now, whatever smokes they have are just on the back of Fox's utility. And even though he can clear up the B side, use that toxin screen to make sure that B-Link and the backside guys can't play, Autumn with the elevation will still be able to see over that toxin screen. And since he's got the Blade Storm, his mid-air shenanigans will make it very difficult for Metal to creep inside. Oh, these waves are sharp. He is an absolute beast. He's here for kills. He's here for violence. No mercy. He takes no prisoners.
30 seconds left.
And I think so this might be the round. This might be the end. This might be the closing of the series. And a lockdown has been invested, and that's going to be from the side of the go. 15 seconds left. You are forced to plant the spike or go in a berserk roll. Fox secures one, might get another. Autumn just saves himself. 8 seconds. But hey, it's done, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be God's Reign reigning supreme once again. Secures a second win in this split too.
GG's. God's Reign, make it look simple. No stress, no sweat. But Metal Esports have to take a good hard look at themselves in the mirror and figure out why they struggled so much today. God's Reign offered them plenty of chances to come back too. But there was simply no win conditions established by Metal Esports, and they will have to work quite a lot in order to identify them and then fix them. Those are two separate steps, because given the way they were playing today, it seems like they're not in sync with each other. Easy win for God's Reign as they finally recover from the previous loss. They now stand at 2-1 in the overall league. 2 wins and 1 loss. Meanwhile, Metal Esports, as close as their last game was, this one wasn't close by any stretch of the imagination. So they will not only be 0-2, but they will have quite a lot of round difference against them.
We were waiting for some surprises from the side of Metal, and we haven't got any, by the way. But hey, God's Reign won. And
you managed to find the time and to go and change into a God's Reign jersey. All right. That's actually cool. The way you can adjust your costumes in that little time frame, if Metal were able to adjust themselves appropriately, then I think this would have been a very different game. But hey, we will break down this match with the details and the fine print on the other side of this break. Also, there's going to be an interview, so don't go anywhere. You better watch that.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Count blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we